Irving Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning.
Happy holidays, everyone, from Irving High School. Tonight's ICTN Game of the Week is a District 9 6A matchup as the Lady Tigers of Irving play host to the Lady Cards of MacArthur. Hello again, everyone. I'm John Nelson. Rob Williman standing by to call tonight's game. As you see, the Lady Tigers and their starting five. They come in with a record of 2-13, averaging 38 points a game through their first 15. And the starting five tonight for the Lady Cards of Susie O, Broussard, Gomez, Wells, Gregory, and Jackson, collectively averaging 59 points a game. Sanchez, Abram, Dillingham, Austin, and Wright, the starting five for the Lady Tigers, coached by Katrina Robinson. In year number two, there's the huddle across the way for the Lady Tigers. They come in having lost two in a row, and coming off a district loss to Ranchview, 43-37. Lady Cards coming off a one-sided 73-50 win in a game you saw on ICTN last week. Coach Robinson in year number two, a South Grand Prairie grad. They're just about ready to jump center at midcourt, and here's Rob Wilman.
All right, the Cardinals in their traveling uniforms, dark black with the outline red of the numbers. The Lady Tigers in the home uniforms, white with the black numerals, and Broussard wins that tap. It goes right over the head of Gomez, and it will be in control by the Lady Tigers. Lady Tigers, 2 wins in their last 10 games. Coach Robinson said, we are young. We realize that. 6 sophomores on this team, 3 that start. Quite incredible coming after last year's team that was able to beat these Cardinals, and the first shot on the way by the player that has to make it happen, Sanchez. Sanchez gets back defensively and does a really good job getting her hands on the basketball on Gabby that time, and it'll go out of bounds and be in possession of the Lady Cardinals. Pretty good crowd on hand tonight, last day of school before the Christmas break. That goes out of bounds and intended for Gamez. So a turnover there, and we saw plenty of those earlier in the week where MacArthur played Wilmer Hutchins to a 73-50 win on ICTN a couple of weeks ago. Even though Susie won by over 20, she was a little disgruntled about maybe some of the play of her team, not quite as sharp, a little ragged. Dillingham, the bounce pass to Aaron. They just kind of go back and forth. Dillingham running the point this year. MacArthur, they're going to be an in-your-face type of defense from the get-go. Right now they just kind of relax back a little bit and wait for Irving to make the mistake. Dillingham with the drive, got a pretty good look there. Rebound by Jackson, and the outlet over here to Gamez. Gamez from the outside, in and out. The ball is loose. Gregory came up with it, and we have our first whistle and foul of the ball game. Dillingham, number 30. The senior, who averages about 6 points a ball game.
Lady Cards come in averaging 59, shooting 37% from the field, and that's an over and back.
Well, she tried. Gregory just stepped on the half-court line. Boy, she lit it up pretty good a couple of weeks ago on ICTN, and although at this point she's not leading the team in scoring average, just wait. A couple more games into the district season and she'll pass Gamez as a leading scorer. Dillingham moving right side. They just kind of go back and forth between her and Austin, and Dillingham drives the paint, and that was just maybe some miscommunication by the Cardinal defensive players because they just let her go right down the lane.
Foul is going to be on Allison Gamez, number 10. Her first and the team's first, and 2 shots upcoming for Kiana Dillingham, the senior.
Shoots close to 60% from the free throw line and gets the first one to fall there. MacArthur lost 3 of their first 4, but since then they've won 11 of the last 12. So typical of a Susie team. They start slow and get their sea legs, and then they turn it on pretty good. Second shot in and good. And we finally have some points on the board. Almost, well, it did take over a minute and a half of the opening part of the ball game.
Lady Cards have dominated this series since 2003.
Pretty much on top of every game except just one last year. It was a down year a little bit for MacArthur. It's kind of a perfect storm. MacArthur retooling just a little bit, and Irving had a senior-laden team, had a lot of experience, and took advantage of that. There's Gabby on the drive. They're going to call her for a travel. So Gregory turns it over at the 6-minute mark here of the opening period. Again, school let out on this Friday. Kids ready for the holiday break. John's ready for the holiday break.
I've just cashed another check, so my Christmas gift purchasing is over.
All done.
Yeah.
All done but the wrapping.
Gift bags.
That's the way to do it. MacArthur trying to double team now. You know, the pace of this first quarter, very slow.
And good for Irving.
Oh, it is. That plays into their type of game. Dillingham missed that one. Rebound put back up by Wright. They still can't find the handle. And Gregory comes down with it. Gregory waits just a little bit. They're working around the horn. Gomez works the baseline. Pretty move, the hoop, and the foul.
Allison Gomez comes in averaging 17 points a game and a basket and one, and a chance to take the lead here for the first time. There's a drive, and then in one motion hitting on the shooting hand was Sanchez.
That little floater missed the free throw. A couple of extra shots offensively as both Jackson and Broussard had their opportunity on the missed free throw. Nice effort, couldn't make it happen, and it's a 2-2 ball game. Sanchez left wide open. That's even too far for her to shoot out of her zip code. She'll drive a little bit. Scoop, but really out of position to make something happen. They'll turn that over, and MacArthur will get the ball back again.
Yeah, everything worked but the release.
Irving started out the season losing their first 5. A couple of those games were close. A couple of others were not. In the corner, Gamez hits the three-pointer. She had a rough, she scored 6 a couple of weeks ago on ICTN against Wilmer Hutchins. She missed like her first 4 shots from the outside, and maybe a different approach this time as she drove and got a feel for the game, and that time she was wide open for the three-pointer.
Her 29th three-pointer on the year.
Get her involved and get her shooting from the outside along with Gregory. That's a really good 1-2 punch. Oh, a little off-balance shot, but Dillingham will earn another trip to the free throw line as both Gregory and Gamez talk over defensive responsibilities on that play.
Hard contact, team foul number 2 committed by the Lady Cards, and Kiana Dillingham back at the stripe. She's the team's leading rebounder, averaging a shade over 4.
She's now 3 out of 3 from the free throw line. Yeah, that's not a good thing when your guard is a leading rebounder. That's like when your safety is the leading tackler.
Yeah, you're not getting any pressure on the quarterback, and same holds true for basketball.
Essence Wells down to Gregory. Gregory, good. Gregory just weaved her way around the wing and through the baseline for a 2-pointer, and the visiting lead is up to 4 here in the first quarter of play. If the Lady Tigers could get some of those outside shots to fall, like that one, that will open things up for them.
Almost on target. Sanchez just a little short.
She's there, though, back on the other end for the rebound or for the steal. It's a 3-on-3 break. She forces one there. No call. Dillingham, she goes to the hoop with the left hand and scores.
Didn't think she's going to put her on the floor, but she dribbled twice and got a pretty nice shot off.
Wells left wide open. Had 2 3-pointers the last time out on TV and hits the first one there. That's what makes this Cardinal team so tough, especially when they have a couple of 5'11s out there as well to rebound. And you get all 3 of those shooting guards involved in the play offensively. They're tough to stop. Sanchez, a little off-balance shot. Again, she had a 5'11 forward in her face. She had to alter her shot a little bit. Broussard trying to finish off the fast break as Gregory had a nice little attempted assist there, but couldn't make it happen. Closing in on 2 minutes here in the first quarter. The shot by Dillingham, and that's going to earn her another trip to the free throw line.
Piling up the points at the charity stripe.
They will need every bit of it in tonight's ball game. And another. No one has put one in the hole except her. 10-6. Taking her time, and the lefty bounces that one far and wide. Checking in is Hughes, Nadia Hughes, number 32. Gregory runs into Hughes. Let's see if it's a blocking. Nope, no. Well, yeah, it is a foul.
Going to be on Abram, number 10.
Yeah, it seems like at first I thought maybe it was just a turnover. And play continues. Gregory over to Gamez. Dillingham in her face, so they give out to Gabby, and she works it around the horn. It's still Wells, Gabby, and Gamez as the shooting guards. There's a nice little feed over to Jackson, her first 2 points for the sophomore, and that was just a nice job of moving the basketball around the exterior, finding something free inside. The lead is doubled. You know, John, the mismatch size-wise between these two teams, not a lot of penetration, not a lot of open area underneath the basket for Irving High School. And now they have a 2-on-1 break. And Gabby draws the foul.
Yeah, a little shoulder bump by Abram, her second, and the team's fourth. But you're right, Rob. I mean, it's been all Dillingham, and Sanchez opened at the top of the key for a 3 a couple of minutes ago and was a little short.
Gabby's first shot, nothing but net.
As a team, the Lady Cards hitting 68% from the free throw line.
Perfect on that trip for the 5'7" senior. All right, winding down the first quarter. And the Lady Tigers will try to get at least 2 more points before the break. Well, they did well to feed it inside, but a missed shot by Abram. Right there underneath the basket.
That was a nice entry pass, and Abram just
whiffed on
unable to convert underneath.
There's Susie. 30 years. That's incredible.
That's a lot of Christmases.
It is.
It's a lot of games over Christmas.
A lot of Christmas tournaments. Gabby for 3. Oh, yeah. Gregory with a really good shot, a good look. And that's another thing, John, that Irving hasn't been able just to get in the face of the shooters very often.
She's getting there a tad late. That's a third team three-pointer here in the first 8 minutes.
Abram looking left. Now she's double teamed. And they forced one up at the last second, but Austin is unable to connect. So we finish the quarter basketball. Our score, MacArthur 17, Irving 6. Back with the second quarter in a moment. All right, welcome back, everyone. Second quarter of action. MacArthur pretty much dominating that first quarter, leading by 11 after one. Rob Wilman with you, along with John Nilsson. We taped this game 1 week from Christmas, 2015. When you're watching this, we hope you've had a nice little holiday, had a chance to be with family and friends, and were able to at least rest 1 or 2 days before the mad rush of either A, returning everything, or B, trying to take advantage of markdowns on what's left. My problem is there's nothing in my size once I go back for the markdown sale.
You snooze, you lose.
And there's just plenty of skinny people sizes. From the corner. Missed shot as Yowell has checked in. We saw Yowell a little bit last season. She'd pick up some playing time in second, fourth quarters of play. She's in there again to somebody trying to nice little defensive play by Aaron. Gets her hand in for the jump ball. Possession arrow goes to the way of Irving.
They need some stops, and there's one of them, but they need some points. The Lady Cards on a 10-3 run.
Now, just like that, Talia Cooper, number 1, sits down, and Gregory back out. Gave the sophomore about 60 seconds of play before their star and leader comes back out, and Yowell's going to be called for the turnover. And she could not find anybody open. Moved her feet, another turnover for Irving High School. Well, Katrina Robinson, the head coach who's in her second year at Irving, told me before the game, we have to block out and we have to rebound. That's all she said, block out, rebound. Gemaz misses there, didn't block out, but Essence Wells can't save it. And the Tigers will get the ball back.
It was here last year. The Lady Tigers snapped that 19-game losing streak to Mac. It went to overtime and eked out a 61-59 win.
We've had at least two overtimes, maybe 3 already in this young basketball season on ICTN. Hadn't had that many in 3 years combined. Gemaz missing the fast break after the steal. And as Gregory goes up for the rebound, she is hacked. And let's see which one, if it's well, they're not over the limit yet, so they'll take it out of bounds. And coming in will be number 31, Micah Austin for Dillingham. Inbound, Jackson missed the wide open shot, ball loose, bodies fly, basketball flies. And coming up with it is number 10, Beth Abram. And Beth is hacked. And she goes up strong, and Hughes making contact. And Abram will go to the free throw line.
Bethany circling from behind, takes it about 3/4 the length of the court. Goes up and is challenged by Jackson, and will have 2 at the line.
shooting about 35% from the free throw line this young season. And missed the first one. Third district game, or second district game, excuse me, in this young season. And then they break from the district rat race and play some tournaments. And she hits her second before they get back into district play when we get into 2016. In fact, our next ICTN game will be back here at Irving, and it will be the Nimitz Lady Vikings and Coach Owens' group against these same Lady Tigers. The district standings, we talked about how we got off, and since there are 7 teams, one team will not play, that being Sunset, so they're the Mendoza line
right now.
Mac, Skyline, Nimitz, the 3 you would expect to be 1-0. And again, that 4th playoff spot up for grabs. I mean, even though the Lady Tigers are 2-13, it's not out of the question that they could put things together and eke out that 4th playoff spot, John.
Well, you know, it's a district games that counts, and you make a little run, and you're close to that 4th spot. Pretty good incentive.
Coach Brian Basil in the house, watching tonight's basketball game.
What this timeout does, it gives you a chance to go to the car and get your jacket.
Yeah, it's
too late.
Yeah, sorry. It's about 45 degrees in here. No, I jest, but it is pretty cool.
Everybody got coats and sweaters in the stands.
Yeah, they don't need the heat, do they? And a turnover against Hughes. That'll give the Lady Tigers the possession.
Talked about the defense for Mac. The Lady Cards, they have only allowed 37 points a game over their last 3.
Yeah, they're starting to play much better basketball as the season begins to develop and get into the halfway point. This last week, right before Christmas, is always the time the high school football championships all wind down. Not a lot of North Texas representatives. Argyle lost. Brock, who's way kind of out there by Denton, winning the state title with only their 2nd season of football ever. Gabby under the 3, her 2nd of the night.
Had 5 against Wilmer Hutchins last week. That is their 4th as a team here in the first half.
Baseline shot missed by Austin. And Hardeman coming in now, Jasmine Hardeman. Now the thing is, you see Jasmine get out there, number 5, you're going to see like hustle, hustle, hustle. She really brings out the energy when she comes in off the bench. No one's around her, so she's going to take it immediately to the hoop and draw the foul.
She wasted no time, was wide open, turned, faces up to the basket, and scores her first 2. That's team foul number 6. And 3 fresh legs coming on for the Lady Cards.
Cooper, one of the 2. Broussard back in. Knight was going to come in, but they put her back down for now. Hardeman for the 3-point play, not there. One of the few things the ladies have not done right. Susie's, at least at this point, has to be a lot happier, I think, than she was last week against Wilmer. She just looked at us like late in the ball game, and she goes, "Are you getting this?" And we're like, we didn't know she was like, you know, the competition's having a tough time, or I don't think she was happy with how her girls were playing at the time.
And then they shut them down, just giving up 3 points in that 2nd quarter. There's a block.
15-point MacArthur lead. This is one of those games in which Susie will probably play practically everyone she has suited out. She's also the type that will not let off on the gas pedal until the very end. Gregory missed the shot, but there's Jackson. Look at Jackson. right there, and that's one of those keys which Coach Robinson said, I want my girls to block out and rebound, and no one was blocking out Jackson that time. Abram goes to the hoop, and she is blocked from behind. Wells with the block shot. There's Coach Robinson. No freshmen on the roster, but boy, when you take that many sophomores. Billingham, wide open shot, hit it too hard. Robinson just a quick little outlet to Wells. Wells to Hardiman. Hardiman almost lost control of it. Gamez runs into a couple of the cheerleaders. Head on a swivel, girls.
Made hard contact with a tile, the wall.
You cannot be looking elsewhere when you're right there on the sideline.
Undercutter.
Watch the action. Gibbs is now checked in for Irving High School. Gregory almost with the steal. Sanchez having to work back and forth on her. Good ball handling. Kicks it over. Baseline move. Got herself in position but missed it. Was right. Gregory, no foul. Abram has it. Aaronson's give it to me. Here we go. Fast break of bounds. Running a little bit. Hardiman back in a hurry. Not much you can do. Gibbs kicks it around. That was Austin with the ball. And then the baseline to Wright. Wright is fouled by Jackson. We see this a lot, John, when they work the baseline like that. They get so far underneath the basket, there's not a lot of room to put the ball up once you get to the rim.
No, there's no angle at all. It's just straight up. Thought she may have stepped out of bounds, but apparently didn't.
Jackson, the second time she's been really good at this when the ball is loose. She'll pick it up and just like push it to a guard.
Yeah.
Not even give the opposition a chance to try to grab it out of her hands, as Katrina's like, oh goodness.
That is the 7th, and now we go down to the other end for the 1-and-1.
So Carissa Jackson will go to the free throw line, and now at least 2 people go out. Hardiman goes out. Broussard checks in. Here comes Cooper. And Knight waiting her turn. Let's see if Jackson makes the basket or not. Nope, so play continues. Stolen away. Gamaz, boy, she anticipated that one nicely.
That came gift wrapped.
7 points now for Allison, the 5'7" junior. A 17-point lead for MacArthur. The thing about MacArthur, the way they play defensively, it's so hard to get inside the paint, so you've got to make the outside shots to open it up. There's another steal by Jackson. Jackson gives to Gregory, cross court. Gamez left all by herself. Oh, beautiful pass to Jackson, who missed the open shot. Everyone for Irving just gave up, thinking that Gamez was going to throw the ball up, but instead she handed it off to Jackson, who missed the open shot. Gamez there going to be called for the foul.
And that is the 6th team foul. And for the Lady Cards, Essence Wells, who started, checks back in. Had a 3-pointer earlier.
Wells and Hardiman both. There's Wells, number 23. Broussard sits down. Susie is so used to just throwing people in and out so fast, and got a jump ball possession arrow now for MacArthur. A player may come in for all of about 30 seconds, John, and then you look up and she's gone.
Well, Dampier's in now. Shayla, number 15. Yeah, you're right. It's don't make eye contact. You forget who's out there.
Dampier had 10 points 2 weeks ago. The ball is blocked. Sanchez blocks it by Gregory. They get it back out. Hardiman looks and misses, but we've got a whistle.
Kind of a late call. Be a shooting foul for the Lady Cards. That is a 9th team foul committed by the Lady Tigers.
Yeah,
and at the line is Hardiman.
One more and everything's a shooting foul.
Right.
Cooper back in. Broussard back in. Hardiman, who missed her last free throw. Hoping to connect here and missed that one. So she's 0 for 2. Might have a lane violation or a foul in the process. Got a foul in the process.
Okay, let's go the other way now.
Why not?
You know, they didn't shoot well from the line the other last week. They were 12 of 21 in that win over Wilmer Hutchins. Well below their number of 68% on the year.
And just like that, 2 more come in. Jackson and Wells come back in. At the line is Abram. And the miss. So she's 1 out of 3. But Irving retreats. Nice hustle, not giving up. Sanchez. Not a lot of room. Both Austin and Wright are working the baseline back and forth, trying to create separation. And Sanchez says, that's not going to work. Everybody spread out for me. Double teamed over everybody. Hardiman rebound. Trying to hit Dampier. It's a 2-on-1 break. Dampier to the hoop. And she is fouled and she'll go shoot 2.
But you saw how quick that Hardiman was when she got the rebound. Just spun to her left and sent it down court to start the fast break.
Saw the percentage of Dampier from the free throw line. That game against Hutchins, she was a perfect 4 from 4. Was in double figures with 10. She had a really strong game off the bench. And here she is at the line again, wearing that leg brace on the left side. Missed both of them this time.
Well, they're off tonight from the line.
Yep, Morales now checking in for the Tigers, number 44. A constant shift for these Cardinals. They're like just, it's like mercury. They just hard to grasp who's going to be in next. Gregory for 3. Forced around. Essence working inside. Dillingham or Austin with the block. 31.
Nice block.
Yeah. Nice play defensively.
She's a sophomore, 1 of 6.
And we go back to the free throw line. We were teasing about the JV game, how they kept the whistle in their pocket. Not so here. Yeah, there was that block by the sophomore Austin.
Lady Cards winning the JV game rather handily, 52-28.
Another one of those sophomores to the free throw line. Anita Morales, the lefty. 1 and done. Closing in on the half. Dampier high and around the arc. Wells a bounce pass. Dampier missed. Gregory high for the rebound and the hoop.
One motion. A one-timer.
So let's see if Irving just slows this down and tries to get one more shot. And a foul as Wells is like, oops, didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, she didn't want to. And a 2-shotter upcoming with just 17 seconds remaining.
You know, she went for the head fake. Let me tell you, here's, in the early go, here's the key in the first half is the fact that the leading scorer, Aaron Sanchez, who almost scores 20 a game, has not scored 1 point.
No, she hasn't. She's the team's best 3-point shooter also. Came in with 23.
76% from the free throw line. Her first point comes at the 17-second mark of the second quarter. Makes both the free throws. Dampier. Nope. Rebound Morales. And another whistle with 8 seconds to go as that one went out of bounds off the Cardinals. And Knight comes in. Cooper comes in. Broussard comes in with 8 seconds to go. Double team. Sanchez, and she's fouled by Cooper.
And some pressure in the backcourt, and Cooper went over the top. And we head back to the line. Well, they put everybody in the backcourt on the ball, but they committed the foul. So half of that worked.
Susie's about to bring 2 more. Kind of a confusion as, well, now 3. Who will they replace with 5 seconds to go? She's still coaching.
Yeah.
Sanchez now a perfect 3 for 3 from the line.
It's only their 4th point here in the second quarter.
Rough night for the Lady Tigers. Hardeman quickly out to Dampier. That one is last touched by MacArthur. So it leaves the Tigers 3 seconds before the break. Sanchez better just heave-ho, and she does. And that's it. So we finish a half a ball. The visitors from MacArthur 28, Irving 10. Back with the second half in a moment.
And welcome back inside Irving High School. The Lady Cards on top 28-10, led by as many as 17 on 2 different occasions, and led by as many as 19. As we take a look at some of the first half highlights, there's a drive underneath by Allison Gomez, who had 7 points. She dishes off to a wide open Carissa Jackson, 2 of her 4 points. And then they go outside as Gabby Gregory rings the bell. The Lady Cards had 3 3-pointers in the first 16 minutes. And for the Lady Tigers, Erin Sanchez able to pick up and hand it off, and Dillingham converts underneath. Kiana Dillingham, who finished with 6 points in the first half. As we take a look at the scoring, Gabby Gregory in double figures. Allison Gomez next tie with 7. For the Lady Tigers, Kiana Dillingham leading all scorers with 6, and then Erin Sanchez, who came in averaging 19 points, held to just 3. Again, the Lady Tigers have lost 2 in a row. The Lady Cards riding a 4-game winning streak and having won 10 of their last 11. This is a early district contest. And here's Rob Willman with a call of the second half.
All right, John, appreciate it very much. Inbounding the ball will be Micah Austin, number 31, over to Dillingham. You know, John, just to put things in perspective, that field goal by Dillingham that you showed for the highlight, that was the only field goal for Irving in the first half.
Yeah, all the other points from the free throw line. They scored just 6 in the first quarter and 4 in the second 8 minutes.
Kind of puts things in perspective how tough it's been for the Lady Tigers just to make something happen offensively, shooting-wise. Part of that problem is just not being able to get a good look at the basket.
It shut down virtually everything in the paint.
Ball is loosed and lost by Abram and picked up by Wells. Here come the Lady Cardinals with their running and gunning. Gabby just bobs and weaves and dishes over to Gamez, left wide open, missed the shot. Broussard unable to pick it back up offensively for the Lady Cards. And Dillingham pushes it up quickly. Sanchez, probably her best look in this ball game, and missed the shot. Stolen though by Dillingham. the lefty. Keeps moving left. Even though the shot was blocked by Jackson, she was hacked, the body contact. And Dillingham talking to one of the underclassmen right.
Yeah, she got the shot off a little late. As she takes it the rest of the way, then Jackson comes over the top, but waited just a little bit too late for the release.
I think for Jackson, it's just the thing about, you've got a size difference there on Dillingham. You don't have to use the body. You can just position yourself with the arms. And
right.
Could have made the block without making the contact.
Lady Tigers 8 of 14 for the foul line in the first half.
And she makes them both. Gregory working against Abram. Now working against Austin. I would hate to guard Gregory.
That'd be a tough job.
A tough assignment indeed. Van Peer in early on here in the third quarter. Saw her a little later in the first half, and there goes Gregory, pretty much unattended to. She had carte blanche going down the lane because no one was there to interfere with her.
She's got her average. That's her 14th point.
I predict she'll score a couple of more before tonight's over. Sanchez for three, back iron. Gregory rebounds. Lady Cards on the move. That goes off her leg. And it should be Irving ball, and it is.
Haven't gone to Broussard much when she has come on. She's a pretty big target underneath at 5'11", and has been wide open on a couple of possessions.
They gave that ball to the Cardinals, but very quickly the Tigers come up with the turnover. A little bit more focus, it looks like, defensively here in the second half. There goes Dillingham. They're giving her that shot right down the middle of the paint. Unable to connect.
But right, she has to score on the other side.
Oh, look at Gregory. Three-pointer. Solid, smooth as silk. She now has 15. And the lead is 21. Sanchez.
Well, just can't buy a three.
No, she can't. But she's, most of those shots she's had to force. Broussard on the baseline, and Gregory says, if you're going to collapse on me, I'm just going to kick it out. Broussard, her first 2 points of the evening for the 5-11. Dillingham tried to work that screen off of Abram, faked everybody out, went down the middle anyway. Pretty much hit a brick wall.
Yeah, I've never seen a drive like that didn't result in a whistle. I mean, you could almost guarantee it. And a timeout, too.
Yeah, Susie wants a 30-second timeout. This series, the MacArthur girls split last year, and we talked about that the Tigers snapped their 19-game losing streak to MacArthur. That was an overtime game. The last time they had won was back in 04-05 before that. But if you look at these scores, look from 09, 10, 11. Look at the point differential. The 2009-2010 season to the 2011-2012 season, MacArthur averaged 77 points a game, and Irving averaged only 24 points a game.
Yeah, the closest was the 09 first meeting at 62-48. These two teams hook up again over at MAC. That'll also be on a Friday night on January 22nd. The return district matchup.
All right, back to action, and Dillingham will go to the free throw line again. Seems like we see more and more lefties than we've seen in quite a while. I know Dan Pierce also a lefty for the Lady Cardinals. Dillingham makes her second, so she's now 3 out of 4 in the second half. Wells to Jackson. Jackson very good at getting rid of the ball very quickly. They finish off the fast break nicely. not a lot of opposition when you don't have that big dominant player or someone to clog up the middle for the Tigers. They have to do their points in other means and ways. Block out, screen. Gregory against Sanchez. Abram going to be called for taking steps.
Yeah, she thought about firing up a three, then slid the foot, turns it over.
Again, don't forget Beth is one of those 10th graders out there. Seems younger when you call them 10th graders.
Instead of sophomore experience.
Yeah. You're a 10th grader. Yeah, one of those nights. There's another one of those 10th graders. Brooklyn Wright had that one go off her hands.
2 grades shy of a senior. How's that sound?
Hardiman with the inbound play, and boy, they set that up nicely.
Good lob.
I want to watch it rim in and out. Aaron, there you go.
Finally. Her 24th three-pointer on the year and the team's first.
That breaks the ice from the field goal perspective for her. Wells double teamed, and now the Tigers running the zone matchup, trying to double team who has it. Hardiman. That is blocked off nicely, it appeared, but now they're going to whistle Dillingham.
She can't believe it.
No. Now, we were screened off on one side from our angle. Don't know if the baseline shot had it or not, but
it'll be the first. He does move in with a...
is probably the arm right there, yeah, on the right hand. Not so much the block, but the hack attack.
That's the team's first. Lady Cards have collected 4 fouls.
Dillingham will sit down, and they'll bring the junior in, Shantae Gibbs, number 1.
Again, Irving came in averaging just 38 points a game. The Lady Cards yielding 47.
And look at the face of Sanchez this scene when she brought the ball up over the timeline. That look of disgust and what are we going to do next? And
sinking feeling.
Yeah. Coach Robinson, she didn't even go into the locker room and talk to her kids at halftime. She sent them in there, but she stayed out here. Probably for the best. Sometimes coaches do that for a point. Sometimes they do that because they don't want to say anything they will regret the next day. They still have a lot of games left in this season. And even though they have a really poor record at this point, it doesn't mean with this district and only 7 teams that the playoffs aren't out of the question. Jackson, good second effort by Carissa.
Well, you give her 2 chances and you got to pay for it.
Made a couple in a row offensively that way down on that side with some offensive putbacks. The lead blossoms as we're closing in on the 2-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. Put back, missed by Wright and rebounded by Wells. Wells a little goose step. Hacked, probably a double hack, if you will.
Well, it's a double team also.
Yeah.
In the mix was Austin, number 31. Here's another look at it. Austin right there. Then sliding over in front is Sanchez.
She just kind of falls on her.
Yeah,
she gives it the old wrestling elbow, you know, down on the mat.
The sleeper.
Wells, this is that. Wells had 1 3-pointer in the first half and has been pretty quiet ever since offensively. Knight checks in. You see her there, number 20. Wells missed them both.
They're now 2 of 9 in foul shooting.
Well, I'm sure you'll try to get a hold of Susie after the game. You might ask her, see her thoughts on that. You know, coaches, Susie's great about nothing's ever flowing right. yet they win practically every game they play. Gregory pull back, put back, Hardiman for 2. There's that hustle by Jasmine, playing her last season as a Lady Cardinal. Almost a walk by Austin. Aaron, scoop. Oh, Abram did a good job to get the ball back. Then Aaron is hacked by Knight.
Brianna Knight collects the foul. It's the team's 4th. And a shooting foul upcoming. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's going to be the inbound by Sanchez. It'll be Sanchez and it'll be Gregory on the ball.
Yeah, hacked her on the rebound, on the act of the rebound, so they'll take it out. Abram, and they're going to call a push on Talia Cooper, the 5'7" sophomore. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So Susie has 4 sophomores. Irving has 6. There's 10 out. Probably the 10 underclassmen. Probably the most I've seen.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Two Irving schools combined in a ball game. Timeout was called because Irving had a hard time getting the ball inbound. But Susie, 30 years as a head coach, over 700 wins. They've been in the playoffs, a city record 10 straight years. Quite impressive. Just as Mac has won 20 or more games in a school record 10 straight seasons. That's just as much, and she also has the 17th most wins in coaches. Look at some of those point guards there, John.
Yeah, about every conference represented. Ariel Anderson in the Sun Belt, Tori Jacobs, Big Ten, Tanya Driver at Marshall, Gabby Gregory is committed to Wisconsin. Odyssey Sims started that point of attack for the Lady Bears. Alexis Jones joined that program as well.
Tanya Driver hurt herself this season, so she's on the mend for the Thundering Herd. Hardiman whacked pretty good as she tries to finish off a fast break. Almost a minute to go.
Yeah, Austin couldn't hold up and hit her hard.
Oh, to be in high school.
That's the kicker for the Garcia for the Tigers in the football season.
There is Hardiman with the free throw, makes her first one after missing her first 2. You know, a lot of the football players, they like to hang out, watch the games, and then a lot of them, one of them was just leaving and said, "You're not going with us?" You always go in groups, hang out together. No more finals, no more tests. You got 2 or 3 weeks to stay up late and sleep late. Hardiman makes both of those.
But don't go near the malls over the next 4 days. You'll be able to get in.
Is the mall even cool anymore?
I think to some, I don't know. I think it is to some extent.
And a fast break finished off by Austin, her first 2 points. Hardiman, just like that. Hardiman and Jackson kind of have done the same thing. As soon as they touch the ball, they let it go toward the basket. They don't bounce bounce it once and just tried one fluid motion to get the ball in the hoop, and it's worked for them. Sanchez, you see her there, look at her coach. What do you want us to do? Well, how about score?
Make a shot.
Abram for 3. Look at there. She now has 4 points. Will Gabby have some room to put this one up? No. Aaron does a really good job defensively for the Tigers to keep her from shooting the ball. So we finished 3, headed for 4. Our score, MacArthur 45, Irving 21. Back with the final period in a moment.
And we're back at Irving High, and a former Lady Card all-district performer, Odyssey Sims, took her game to the next level.
She will be in Arlington since the WNBA Dallas Wings have moved house from Tulsa. We saw Odyssey a couple of weeks ago there in MacArthur. She's making the rounds.
Good time to see her.
Yeah,
former team.
Yeah. She may be doing some goodwill, trying to bring folks to the stadium or to the gymnasium. Beth Abram, another 2 points. Good job for Beth, finishing off the fast break. That is Gibbs over to Abram. Takes it to the hoop again. Missed it, and then two of the Tigers all over Gamez, committing the personal foul. Now, for Allison, it's kind of been a quiet night, as she started off playing a lot, but then later on she been kind of watching from the sidelines. Micah Austin, her 5th foul.
Yeah,
so
that was on Austin.
She'll sit down with 2 points. Got those final, or one and only basket just a few minutes ago in the 3rd quarter of play. So got 7.5 to go in this one. 22-point lead for MacArthur. Wells for 3, irons it. Sanchez runs it down and now tries to find someone to give it to. Dillingham, there she goes on the baseline. You know, Dillingham has the right idea, just like you said. Just take it to the hoop.
Draw the foul, or if the worst, you're going to score. That foul charge to Wells, team foul number 7.
This will be free throw 11 and 12 for Dillingham, who hits close to 60% of her free throws, and she's about right at that mark tonight. The lefty missed them both, though. Broussard rebounds. Gamez very quickly over. Bodies fly. Another jump ball, the 3rd tonight of the tie-up. Possession arrow says let's go back the other way for Irving High.
You mean back in time?
Yeah, back in time. Remember when they used to jump the ball on every tie?
Go to the nearest point and jump it off.
Jump it off. Inside. Oh, blocked by Jackson. Right worked her way free. And a nice job by Gibbs. Shanti Gibbs, the junior.
Yeah, the ball got tipped in her direction, and Gibbs suddenly looked up. Out of the sky comes a basketball and scores underneath.
Says, I don't know who gets the assist, but I get the 2 points. Sanchez, number 3, a little smile. She looks at the coach like, how many, is that number 5? Is that number 4? She hacked Gabby Gregory. Yeah. Gregory now is going to go to the hoop. Gamez came running in and a little out of control. Essence is open. Hardiman's there. Hardiman with another chance. Or correct that, Broussard. Broussard with the 2 points.
Oh, she's only a freshman. That is her 4th point, but I like the way she plays.
I do, and it seems like Susie is giving her more and more minutes as we've seen them play. If she wasn't any good, she'd be on the JV. Basket missed by Sanchez and Wells. Rebounds. Gregory. Short. Gamez there. And this all goes back to what Coach Robinson told me before the game. Block out, rebound. Block out, rebound. We've got a chance. And you just saw there the last couple of 2 or 3 possessions where the Tigers didn't do that.
They just fill the lane, and here is Nadia Hughes, who saw action in the first half.
So Hughes replaces Broussard. Aaron says just throw it out here deep. She does. Dillingham back in. Just drive. Right Working high post to set up the screen. The bounce pass to Sanchez, and good. Sanchez with 8. Wells, who's missed the last couple for 3-pointers, gave up the open shot. You know that plays a part in it when you miss a couple of jump shots and you get a little timid on putting one up next time. Cardinals really don't have to be in any hurry. As this time, Wells says, you know, the right side may be a little bit more conducive to my style.
Her second three-point bomb, and the lead at 25. Pretty much named their score tonight as the Lady Cards will go to 2-0 in district.
Shot counts. Dillingham will go to the line, her second field goal. And she'll try to complete the trifecta and get the 3-point play. Have some fresh faces coming in for Irving High School. Number 20, Evelyn Ramos, who's a senior. We'll see action for the first time tonight. Gibbs back in also. And also Anita Morales, number 44. And bounces around and finally falls for Dillingham. So with this game almost put away, the Tigers bring some other folk out. You know, they will have to host a game when district starts again after the holiday break and the new year, when the Nimitz Lady Vikings come to town, a much improved from 2 years ago. We know they did really well last year making postseason. Morales right there for the rebound. Didn't get very good position, though, on the follow-through.
Lady Cards have a tournament upcoming?
I don't know where they're headed, but I believe they do have a holiday. Gabby misses that. Again, too far underneath the rim for Hughes. Gamez are going to call it for walking.
Got to step around Gibbs and turns it over with 3:31 to go in the game.
Hardiman back in. MacArthur came in at 12 and 5. It really wasn't a matter of would Irving upset MacArthur just based on personnel and the fact that Irving is such a young team. It was just how Irving was going to handle all this.
And early it was a little bit to their advantage when there wasn't really that big of a breakaway point-wise by Mac, and Irving just couldn't make anything happen on the early possessions. They took some time off of the clock, but just couldn't score.
Abram working inside. Man, that was a nice little pass, and Gibbs did a good job of finishing that off.
Yeah.
Gabby, that's a 4-pointer, if you will. What is that, her 4th 3-pointer of the night? That one was just a rainbow. It just fell from the sky under 3 minutes to go.
20th point.
Sanchez tried to match it. Morales had the rebound, and this time Sanchez makes it count, her 3rd 3-pointer.
30-second timeout taken with 2:35 to go. It's a full timeout. 2:35 left. Sanchez now in double figures with 11. And there's another look as Sanchez really goes deep. Getting there just a little bit late was Gregory trying to block it and drills it.
Susie calling time and wanting the full time. She's just probably trying to get the attention of the girls and try to get their attention and get them focused a little more. How about a sponsor, Mr. Nelson?
Well, Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning, and don't you know they'll be busy over the holidays. Our sponsor, game in, game out, year in, year out. On ICTN, our thanks to the good folks that operate Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning.
Yeah, you got the Christmas mess.
Right.
You know, you got the turkey, the ham, all that just all over you because you're sloppy. Then you might have to bring something out for the, the New Year's Eve festivities that you haven't cleaned up in a while.
A little ring around the collar that might need spruced up after a year.
Sure. Got any plans for New Year's Eve?
Haven't decided yet. It depends on a couple of things, but I don't know, probably stay close.
Here's the deal. You've got like a great college football game that night.
Well, I'm waiting on approval for some tickets, so I don't know. I don't know what the status is on that yet. To physically go.
Yeah, don't forget again, we shooting this ball game right before the Christmas break, and this one airing right after the New Year. Hardiman to the hoop. Morales kept it in play, and I think Hardiman's going to be called, yes, Jasmine, going over the back of one of the Lady Tigers.
And that is the 9th team foul. Let's see, Mac in the 70s last week, 73-50 over Wilmer Hutchins. On target to perhaps get 60 tonight, came in averaging 59.
Dillingham good. Later on this year, it will be interesting to see how things play out for the boys' side. We've had MacArthur a couple of times already, and those games are never dull. Skyline, of course, will be right in the thick of things. And haven't seen Jesuit too much, but I'm sure given the fact that they usually have a solid team year in and year out. Gregory, oh, that was a nice little stop and go, wasn't it?
Boy, what? And that came out a little further. She wanted to pull the trigger a little closer, but stepped around. That came from about 3 feet further back.
Abram tries to answer. Here comes Gregory again. She already has 5 3-pointers. This little turn, boom. Pirouette.
25 for the senior tonight.
May I have this dance?
Coming off a 19-point game last week.
Ball is blocked by Wells. Finds Gregory, 2-on-1. Gamez and Gregory. That's a nice 1-2 punch in the backcourt. Gamez in double figures with 11. Susie clears the bench and has 4 players waiting to come in. Those who haven't played are all waiting for a stoppage in play. They're hoping the refs will call a whistle so they can get in there and get at least 30 seconds. And Susie, she takes 2 of them back immediately and says, forget about it.
Well, it happened. Will there be a stoppage?
I don't know. Hardiman puts that off the window. Hardiman with 10 points tonight. And closing in on our first game of 2016. Dillingham, a little runner, and it rattles home. Well, good for Dillingham, the high score. But nearly not quite enough in this ball game, as this has been all the Lady Cards of Irving MacArthur. 64-40, our final. We're going to wrap things up in a moment. Stay with us.
2, 1, 2, 3. Mic check test. You got Mike? Good. Okay. Here she comes, Susie.
Oh, just you got the 2 shot. In essence, just summarize the game. Just 2 questions.
You ready, John?
Dominating game by the Lady Cards of MacArthur, 64-40 the final. Let's go to John Nelson, who has Susie standing by. John?
All right, Rob, thank you very much. 64-39 as the Lady Cards win their 5th in a row. Coach, nice defense early shutting down Aaron Sanchez for them.
Yes, we really did. We really did. We've been working on this quite a bit for the last couple of days, and I felt like if we could just keep them out of the paint, and defend the 3, we'd be all right. But we got a long way to go. But I'm a little frustrated, but we did a good job on her. Yes.
What about the 1-2 punch tonight of Gomez and Gregory?
Well, we got in foul trouble early, so it kind of I call that it ties our hands behind our back. But but those 2 really complement each other. They're fun to watch.
I thought Broussard, their freshman, had a pretty nice game tonight. She was wide open time and time again underneath.
She's coming around. She's very young. She's a freshman, and she's learning the game. I think she started playing just in the 8th grade. So I'm looking forward to working with a lot of these girls this spring. To kind of get them going and get them into the flow of the game and learn the skills. But she's quite an athlete.
Susie, where's your team right now and the emphasis with this Mansfield tournament coming up?
The Mansfield tournament is coming up. It's right after Christmas. It's 28th, 29th, 30th, and it's a very competitive tournament. This time last year is where we started making our stride. It's very tough, and like I said, we've played a really tough schedule because of the district. But I'm hoping that we get off that, have a nice Christmas break, which we all need and deserve, and then we'll come back after that and just get after it.
All right, Coach, appreciate it very much. Have a good Christmas.
Merry Christmas to everybody.
All right, Coach, Susie, and again, I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas. We'll see you next year. Rob, back to you.
All right, John, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Susie talking to John about the season and the play of her Lady Cardinals. Highlights-wise, let's pick things up, first of all, with the Cardinals. And Gabby, she starts things off, and it's a little assist there to Broussard. Nice little play. Then this time she fakes like she's going to pass, takes it right down the middle. Nice little shot. She can also hit the 3-pointers, as she has done throughout this season in the 2 games we've seen them already. And then a little spin move. Boy, that was a pretty play to finish things off for Miss Gregory. Now on the Tiger side of things, it's been a rough night for Aaron Sanchez. It took her a while to get things going. She did the assist, though, there to Austin. Nice little play. Finally gets that 3-pointer to fall. And if she can't get the 3-pointer to fall, then sometimes she just try to get the jump shot. And just a little too late for her team. They were just really outmatched tonight. Broussard had 4. Gregory with her 25 points. Gamez with 11, had a good game. Hardiman off the bench with 10. Jackson and Wells 8 and 6 apiece. For the Lady Tigers, it was Dillingham with 17. A lot of those from the line. She was 10 out of 15 from the free throw line. Aaron Sanchez with 11 points. And Abram, who came on strong, Beth did there toward the end. 6, Gibbs 4, and Austin 2. So, as we stand now, the MacArthur Cardinals are 13-5 on the season, 2-0 in district play. And then on the other hand, the Irving Tigers are 0-2 now and 2-14 on the season. They have their work cut out for them. They've got a lot of youngsters, and it'll take time for the girls to develop. But they still have that one playoff spot available to them, and we still got a lot of basketball left to play. Well, that's going to do it here at Irving High School as the ladies from Irving MacArthur are victorious, 64-39. For John Nelson, I'm Rob Willman, wishing you a pleasant good evening.
Irving Game of the Week has been brought to you in part by Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning,